Hey folks, so here we are at the first station. So I want to talk to you about succession planting. Now you'll notice that there's multiple generations of lettuce. They sort of look the same, but you'll notice that these over here are larger than the ones over here. And as we go through time, we'll be planting more and more plantings of lettuce. So for instance, we plant lettuce every 2 weeks, all year long. From lettuce is planted from April all the way until mid-August. And so the point of succession planting is that we want to have a constant supply of crops, not, oh my God, we have so many lettuce and then nothing. And that's one of the important differences that I see from the techniques we use versus a lot of home gardeners. A lot of home gardeners have this idea, oh, I'm going to plant my garden on the long weekend in May 24th, and that's it, that's all. You know, I plant my garden, it's done. Well, that's one strategy, but it also means that you're going to have a lot of stuff all at once, and then sometimes you're not going to have anything, which is fine because we got a lot of stuff, and that's why we're here for you. So we plant stuff every week. So certain crops are planted every 2 weeks. For instance, lettuce, carrots, beets, beans are planted every 2 weeks. Other crops are planted every week. So like salad mix, spinach, arugula, radishes. These are quick crops that are planted every week. Other crops are planted only 2 or 3 times during the season. So for instance, cucumbers, zucchinis, there's only 2 or 3 plantings, spaced out about every 3 weeks. And other crops are only planted once, like tomatoes and peppers and eggplants. There's only planted once. And the reason for this is that we're always trying to consider how long does the crop take to come to maturity? How long can we harvest off the same planting? And is it frost sensitive or not? And how many days before the first frost in the fall, do we need to plant it? So for instance, tomatoes, we plant them once because as soon as we can, we plant them in the ground, they grow, and then we harvest from them weeks and weeks and weeks. You know, the same tomato plant gives tomatoes weeks after week after week after week. Compared to a lettuce where it grows and we cut it and that's it. And so we want to be planting lettuce regularly because we need a constant supply, as opposed to tomatoes, we also want a constant supply, but we're just going to get it all off of one planting. Also, lettuce is a frost-hardy crop, so we can start planting it in April, and we can plant it all the way up until middle of August. And the reason we stop in middle of August is because after that, there's not enough time for the lettuce to grow and reach maturity before winter comes in and just wipes it out. Because I say it's frost-hardy, it's frost tolerant, really. It's not, it's not like a kale or a spinach that can withstand any temperature. It's really, it can stand down to -5 maybe, depending on conditions. But below that it'll die, and so that's why we stop planting in middle August. And so we have a very, very complicated spreadsheet basically where each thing is planned out. Nothing in here is random. Well, rather everything's random, but I try to pretend like I have some sort of control and order, and so I have a nice spreadsheet where each week I'm planning out how much lettuce, how much arugula, how much this, how much that we're planting, and we got the schedule, greenhouse schedule, field schedule. Some crops are transplanted, which means we grow them in the greenhouse, and then when they're ready we plant them out. And other crops are direct seeded, which means we seed them with a push seeder, and we push along and it drops the seeds in the ground at exactly the right spacing. So that's a little bit about the basics of how we run the farm so that we make sure we have enough product for you for the CSA all summer long into fall.